everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is the start of like a little series that I want to keep going for like my channel, which is going to be books that I read this month. This month I am cheating a tiny bit because there is a couple books I didn't necessarily read this month but I read very recently and I really want to talk about because I absolutely love them, like adored them. So yeah, a little bit cheaty, but I think about 6 of the books in this video are what I read this month in February. So yeah, so we'll just dive right in. So this one is a little cheaty one. I didn't read this month. I read it recently. I think I actually read it over the summer, so maybe not that recently, but yeah, it's Everwood by Hannah Matthewson, and I literally loved it so much. Like, it's set in London. I'm from London, so I was like, hit me up. And I saw a lot of myself in like the protagonist, because like she's described as like being blonde. Does she have brown eyes? I think she has like hazel eyes, which I have hazel eyes and I'm blonde. What? And she's like a magician's assistant, but she's like magical and she's actually from this other world. So it starts off in our world and then she goes to her actual world, which is the Witherwood, which is where she's actually from. So yeah, very, very cool. And like, I don't know, I see a lot of myself in the protagonist and I see a lot of my boyfriend in like her love interest. And like Hannah Matthewson, the author, on her Instagram, she uploaded like mood boards of like the different characters, and I looked at the one for Isla, the main character, and I was just like, that's like me in a mood board. And then the one for I forget the guy's name, but for the guy, whatever his name is, can't remember, Elliot, I think his name's Elliot. Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's my boyfriend. Like, I don't know, it was just very similar, which I think is also why I loved it so much, because, and also like enemies to lovers, who doesn't love that kind of trope of young adult fantasy books. But yeah, I actually loved it, and the cover is like actually stunning. But yeah, it's very good. And there is a sequel, what I think is more of a prequel, called Wayward, which I just found out on Waterstones is coming out soon, in like May, I think. So yeah, it doesn't carry on from this story from what I gather from the like synopsis of it, which I'm kind of disappointed about because I wanted a continuation, because this kind of ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, so I wanted a continuation. I don't know if it might end up being a continuation. I mean, I'm gonna get it anyway because I absolutely love this book. But yeah, would recommend. It's very, very good, and the cover's stunning, and just I don't know, like I was falling in love with Elliot, do you know what I mean? Like, brilliant writing, just being like, oh. And yeah, love a bit of romance. So 10 out of 10 would recommend. Okay, so next up is another cheaty. This is The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik. Look how pretty with the sprayed edges. Ooh, gorgeous. I basically found this on Waterstone somehow. I think it was when it just come out, so they like recommended it. And I was like, this sounds really good. I read the blurb and it said there was a continuation from A Deadly Education, so I bought that, read that, and then read this. It's so good. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, the school, they're at a magic school, all the kids, and the school is like alive, kind of. Like, the school almost like can think. I don't really know how to explain it, but like, do you know what I mean? Like this, and everyone has like, they're like a passion kind of thing. So the main guy, Ryan, his like, she has a word for it that I can't remember what they call it, but like his passion is to like kill like the monsters. That's his drive, is to like hunt. And then like the main girl, oh my gosh, what's her name? Elle. She's called Elle in the book. Her full name is Galadriel, you know, like the Lord of the Rings person. But she wants to go by Elle because she's like badass, you know. What is that? So yeah, she goes by Elle, and like obviously, you know, her and Orion, enemies to lovers, obvs. But it takes them 2 books to get there though. But yeah, she's like, her like drive is like evil. She's not evil, but like she has so much power that she could just destroy the world. And so like the school keeps giving her spells for like to create volcanoes and like stuff like that. So like the school can think, and it like pushes them along like kind of the way type thing. But yeah, this book is very, very good. The ending of this book broke my heart. I almost don't want to read the next one because I'm worried about what has happened to one of the characters. Like, I don't want to read that book and find out that what I'm worried about is true, you know? But I am going to read it and complete the set because even the spine is gorgeous, you know? It's a very, very good book. This is not a cheat. This is Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuznia, I think. Kuznia. I feel like I'm butchering it and I feel really bad. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's about this ballet dancer. What's her name? Marietta. So I think it's set in sort of like Georgian times type thing. Like, I know it's very much where like ladies were expected in society to like marry and, you know, like make a good home and like that kind of stuff. But Marietta doesn't want to do that. She wants to dance, but her family are like, you can't have your own source of income, you're a woman. I'm like, what? So basically they're like, this Christmas you're getting married off, like this is your last Christmas show and then you're getting married off type thing. And she's like, woe is me. And then she basically gets trapped in this grandfather clock that becomes a portal into this place called Everwood. Wait, is it called Everwood? Is that what the... Yeah, Everwood, yeah. I couldn't remember if that was what the world was called or not. But, and she meets, like, the captain of the guard, and, like, the king is, like, mean and, like, evil, and he basically takes Marietta prisoner, and, like, forces her to dance for him, like, every night. And she's with these 2 other women, and they kind of, like, form this, like, sisterhood. I mean, they're kind of like shared captivity kind of thing. And yeah, they form this like sisterhood and, you know, are like, we're gonna break out, girl power type thing. And then there's a little bit of romance between her and the captain. So cute, love it. And it's just amazing. And I had so many like beautiful quotes in it about like dance and like dreams, and it was just gorgeous. And like as a dancer, like I really identified with it. Like one of my favorite quotes actually was it says, chasing after your dreams is a peculiar kind of suffering. It is not for the weak-hearted or cowardly minded. It requires endless strength and deep determination, something along those lines. And I actually got that made into a print on Etsy. But yeah, and also like with Everwood, like the description of the world of Everwood was just so immersive. Like I could see it so clearly. It was like I was there type thing, which I think is so beautiful when a book can do that. Like I was there. I loved it so much. So the writing is excellent, and like the description and everything was just absolutely amazing. Okay, next up is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. She's the writer of the Caraval series, if anyone knows that. So I'm a sucker for a bit of romance, in case you didn't guess. Another cheeky bit of forbidden love, I'd say, you know, because basically the protagonist Evangeline, she is in love with this boy, and then one day this boy's like, yeah, I'm marrying your stepsister and we're so in love, and she's like, excuse me, sir. So then she goes, basically there's these beings, I guess, called fates, and they have like all these powers and stuff. So she goes to the Prince of Hearts, who is like kind of the fate of love. So she's like, stop the wedding, please. But you know, fates are a bit like tricksy, so he's like, yeah, I'll stop the wedding in exchange for 3 kisses. And the thing with the Prince of Hearts is if he kisses a woman, she dies. So she's like, you ain't kissing me, mate. And he's like, no, I don't want you to kiss me. You're gonna kiss who I want you to kiss, when I want you to kiss, where I want you to kiss them. And she was like, okay. But then obviously, because he's a little trickster, he doesn't stop the wedding in the way she thought he would. And yeah, things just spiral out of control a little bit. And she goes to the north of like their realm. Then she goes to another realm that's up north, which is actually where her mother was from. Both her parents are dead, because, you know, it's a fantasy book, so, you know, you gotta have some orphans. So she goes there with her stepsister because she's distraught because her wedding was ruined, but she doesn't know it was Evangeline's fault. So yeah, they go up to the north to this like party called Nocturne Neverending, and like the prince of that realm is looking for a wife, and their tradition is to have this ball, and the ball doesn't stop until he finds a wife. And, you know, obviously falls in love with Evangeline, and things transpire, and she ends up going on this adventure with Jax, who is the Prince of Hearts, and of course she ends up kind of falling for him a little bit. And like, I can't really say more because the book ended on such a cliffhanger, and it was such a roller coaster, because one minute it was like, oh my god, Jax is such a good guy, oh my god, they're gonna fall in love, oh my gosh, and then it was like, oh my gosh, he's evil, oh my gosh, wait, no, oh my god, like, I was literally like, it was so like, oh, I was also fuming at a cliffhanger. I literally texted my mum and I was like, I'm fuming, my book ended on such a cliffhanger. Like, and the next part of the series doesn't come out until August. I've got to wait till August. I'm so mad. But yeah, I absolutely love the book and identified a lot with Evangeline, just because, like, I mean, her hair's like rose gold, so it's like pink and gold. I was talking to my friend about it and she was like, I feel like if you were in a fairy tale you would have like pink hair, and I was like, yeah, I think I would. And also she's very much led by like her heart and her emotions, and like love is kind of like her, like that's like what she's led by, and I'm very much like that. I very much lead with my heart. I'm very emotional, you know, so very much saw like a lot of myself in her, and I think that's again why I loved it so much, because I was like, it's me. Yeah, it was very good. Very mad about the cliffhanger. It's definitely God that ever watches this video, I just hope she knows I'm mad. That's all I have to say. Next up is The Beauty and the Beast. So this is actually like a collector's edition by Harper's Design, and it's got like pop-ups and like pull-outs in it. It's like one of those. They've started doing like classic books like this. They've got the like Peter Pan, the Jungle Book. They started doing the Harry Potter books like in this style as well, which I very much want, because in case you couldn't tell, I love Harry Potter. So yeah, I will say I got a little bit bored. The penultimate chapter is like one of the longest chapters in the entire book, and it's basically just the fairy telling you what's happened, because basically transpires that Beauty, she's called like Beauty in the original version, she's not called Belle or anything, so Beauty is actually a long lost princess. She was placed with like the person that she thought was her father, to like keep her safe from an evil fairy. So it transpires she's a long lost princess, and the fairy's basically telling you how that happened, but she's literally just saying it in the like most boring generic way ever. She's just like, this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and it's like, it's so long, so boring, I literally skipped it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I skipped it. I was like, no thank you. The rest of it was fine though. I feel like also what helped was the illustrations and the pull-outs, because otherwise I do think I would have gotten a lot like more bored. But I mean, like, I enjoyed it, and like I'm glad I have experienced the like original story as well, because it was pretty cool. But yeah, that last chapter, no thank you. Absolutely not. It could have been like 20 pages shorter and like a lot more interesting. Oh, it was, I can't even explain it. I was so bored. Okay, so next up is The Waterfire Saga Deep Blue by Jennifer Donnelly. So this is the first book in the Waterfire Saga series. There are 4 books in total. So yeah, this is the first one. I read this when I was like 13, I think, so like year 8, year 9 kind of thing. Like, took it to school, read it like when we had silent reading time. and I absolutely loved it because I love mermaids. It's basically about this mermaid called Seraphina, and she's about to become like princess. No, she's about to become like kind of queen type thing. Not queen, but like, I don't know how to explain it. She's like getting ready for this ceremony. It's like her betrothal, where she like has to do all these tasks and like prove that she's like a direct descendant of like the first queen by like trying not to get eaten by a spider. It's crazy. And like she's meant to be like getting betrothed to this prince from like this other kingdom, but then assassins strike. Okay, like coming down through like the water, like pew pew arrows type thing, and one like hits her dad instantly dead, and then her mum gets hit, and everyone's like, she's fine because she's a bad bee, so she just rips the arrow out, and she's like, why are you hiding, you cowards, like come and get me. And like it's kind of like, oh, maybe her mum will be fine. Her mum won't be fine because the arrow was poisoned. So then Seraphina has to flee with her friend Neela, and they flee. And the first book is kind of like their journey. And they've had this nightmare of these river witches like summoning them to like come fight this great evil, and they both had the same dream. And like in the dream it tells them to like find 5 other people. And so they along the way they kind of end up meeting all 5 other people. They're all like going to the river witches, and that's what happens in the first book. They get there, but then they have to flee the river witches because the bad people find out where the river witches are, and they're coming to get them. So that's kind of where the first book ends. And yeah, I do very much enjoy it. It's also a very easy read for me because it's like, it's a young adult book, so I can read it pretty quickly. And like, I think it also helps that it's not written in black. So like this one's like written in blue ink, the next one's in purple. The one I'm currently reading is in like a dark navy. The one I'm currently reading is in like a dark navy. So I think maybe that might also help me be able to read it so quickly. But yeah. And then next up is the second book in the Waterfire saga, Rogue Wave, again, Jennifer Donnelly. And this one is like, I didn't enjoy this one as much, I don't think. I know this one kind of split between sort of like Seraphina and her friend Neela. It's kind of split, it's you like following both of their stories, and then towards the end their like timelines merge and they like find each other again, basically. Yes, alright. I mean, the end has a massive reveal, like huge, and like gasped, like I gasped audibly. I audibly gasped. Actually, I audibly gasped like twice because there's 2 reveals in this book, and it's like mind blown. But yeah, the reveals are very good, and it's very like, oh my god, like what? If you like mermaids, you should read it because I think it's very, very good. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on the situation. Finally, the book I'm currently reading is the 3rd book in the Waterfire saga, Dark Tide. Again, Jennifer Donnelly. I mean, obviously, because I'm currently reading this, I can't really say too much about the plot because I don't know where it's going. Because I've also, like, I'd read the first 2 already, but the last 2 I've never read. So I'm like, wonder what's gonna happen. I've just gotten to a point where like someone has basically turned spy for the bad guys, like against Seraphina. Not cool. They haven't said who it is, but I'm not happy about it. I'm like, how can you do that to my girl? Like, what? No thank you. But yeah, I am liking it so far, and then just got to finish it. I've got quite a way to go. I've got all of this to go. Yeah, I should finish it soon though. Yeah, I can't really say much about it because obviously I'm still reading it, but all I can say is I'm enjoying it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're a fellow bookworm like me, let me know in the comments what books you read this month that you really enjoyed, so then I can buy them and read them too, because I love to buy books. Or if you want to buy any of the books I've mentioned, I'll like link them in the description if you've been like intrigued by any of them, or you like want to find out more about them, because let's be honest, my synopsis of them wasn't great. But yeah, I'll do all that. And just, if you're a bookworm, hit me up with book recommendations. I mean, I'm nearly run out of room in my bookcase, but it's fine. You always need more books, am I right? It's fine. So if you like this video, give it a little thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.